Hello and happy gaming, everyone. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and yesterday was our D&D day. I'll talk a little bit more about that first, but I did want to get a little something off my chest before we got rolling here. And it's just that uploads have been a little bit scarce because I've been trying to work through some issues as of late. And I've already kind of gone over this a little bit. It's also kind of the reason why I'm only concentrating on one game right now, because not only are we discussing moving, which has been a little bit of a hairy pickle in and of itself, and yes, I realize I just said hairy pickle, but it's also just been a very difficult time on my mental stability, so I apologize for that. Just have to bear with me just a little bit longer and we'll figure things out. So, that having been said, let's move on to what today's run is, and I thought I would go with something a little bit signature focused. We're going to use the Fury Robe, which not only increases signature charge, but also damage, and we're going to couple that with the Ancient Fountain Pen, meaning that my charge signature will deal more damage every time I use it. And we're also going to go with the Flame Cleaver, which by itself is only really notable because you get multiple charges of it, but as a signature, it gets insane coverage. Now, it doesn't do a crap ton of damage, but the coverage alone should be enough to help out during the mobs, and it'll do me plenty well during the shoe fight, but once again, I kind of feel like I need the goddamn vitamin gummies in order to avoid getting roasted by Atlas. Alright, so with everything being signature focused right now, what I would like to see is things that are going to boost that. Like maybe if I could, even if I could put together the perfect time crystal, that would be nice. I overestimated how many charges of my flame cleaver I had, so that's why I ended up taking a shot there. And every time we use the signature, the damage increase won't be much, but since we're getting that from every signature charge we're using, because we've had it since the very beginning, it should be a nice little bonus by the end of the run. At least I'm hoping it will be. Now I'm noticing that the uncharged Flame Cleaver in and of itself doesn't do a ton of signature charge. Thundering Chain does, but the Flame Cleaver in and of itself doesn't do much. So my Arcana choices are going to be things that are probably going to be high single hit damage, because that's going to be what charges my signature bar faster. There we go. It's another 2%. So, as I said, it's not doing it a whole lot at once, but by the time we get towards even just the first boss, that's gonna be, I mean the first council member, not just hi, I'm a mini boss, spank me. Gather up. Of course, I missed the second one. Alright, I actually don't want that because the little ball lightning that Cabby's citrus candies creates has a huge amount of knockback to it, and that's going to completely throw off the groove that I have with the air spinners, so no citrus candies. Normally I have no problem using those to enhance the basic, but with the citrus candies being the ones that have the most knockback to them, it can throw a lot of basics off. And especially if you're using a basic that's whose effect is predicated on not having an absolute crap ton of knockback, that can really throw things off. Hello, what do we have here? Bounty Hunter Seal. That matches their elemental weakness, and it's not going to do a lot here. And slightly increases all damage dealt. I might come back for that just because it's, you know, something. I'm not going to get a whole lot on the Bounty Hunter Seal for, well, Zeal. I don't have a Water Arcana. But that might change after I visit Iris's shop, so let's make sure that gets done first before I decide that I don't want that. Nope. Nope, nothing here is really any good. So, even though it's not a big damage improvement, we will take the Chaos Scanner. See, only 5%. They could have made that a bit more worthwhile, but whatever. So as you can see, it didn't do a crap ton of damage by itself, but it's just got so much coverage that it can easily take out small things like minions and other basic enemies. We're also up to plus 10%, so it's looking better. So that's plus 30% to our signature damage, including the Fury Robe. I'm hoping that goes a long way, but are there signatures that are a little bit better than this? Yes. At least damage-wise. What I'm doing is essentially experimenting with a different signature, because, you know, there's a lot of signature spell options. I don't want to always use the same couple. And this is one of those spells that I'm seeing as being more effective as just a standard Arcana, and not necessarily a signature. But the coverage in and of itself is enough to at least get me thinking. Use the pits to your advantage. So what happened during our D&D game, you may be asking, since I do like to talk about that so much? Well, this week's game was not a lot of dungeon crawling. There was a special mark that we went after, so that we could make a special suit of armor for a character that my sorceress is planning on, and gives extra signature charge. You just said the magic words. I don't know about Cobalt Firestone, I might come back to that. But since she is looking to gain a bit of an entourage and maybe a few followers, what we did is we went after this special mark, which just involved essentially a little mini dungeon. Think, you know, Monster Hunter, if you will. And we used the skin of that monster to build a new set of armor for the character that I'm looking to. And I say it's mostly about building an entourage and gaining followers, but it's more so because this is a character that's been with us from the beginning, and she's, I mean, to put it in the most blunt way possible, kind of losing relevance. So what I decided is, because I like the character herself, even if her abilities in her kit are a little lackluster. Oh, that was not smart. What I decided is that my sorceress is going to take her in and teach her some things. And outside of it also being an opportunity to increase her deity's clergy, it's also a chance to actually sit down and become friends with this character and, you know, make a bit of a bond. Improvement to Thundering Chain, I'll take that. And Exploding Fireball, that's a maybe. It's one of those points that I had the idea for it at first, but I don't think I articulated it very well in character, so looking forward to a chance to atone for that, make it a little bit more well known to the other character that she's, trying to make a friend and trying to help her out at the same time. So I'm hoping that we can get that to happen. No opportunities for one-on-one gaming to do stuff like that without it being at the table and boring the tits off of our other players they're hard to come across right now. It's a shame, because something like this I would really kind of prefer to do one-on-one gaming with. But, like I said, our current situation is that that's difficult to get to happen, so take it with a grain of salt, we're working on it. In the meantime, I, at the very least, have something in mind that I'm working with, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing how it progresses in the next gaming session. We also saw two characters get together and have a bit of a moment. Those are two characters that I think will actually have a nice little in-character romance if things continue the way that they're going, which I'm pretty sure it's one of the NPCs and the big strong warrior man. And instead of it just being, oh, you're so impressive and strong, let's have a shag. It's, again, not what I'm talking about. Do I want the Cobalt Firestone? I think what I want is another combat option, so I will buy Exploding Fireball. I'll move that over onto the right bumper. But no, what we have is two characters sharing genuine moments, like trying to understand one another. They both come from very different backgrounds and different cultures, so they actually have a lot to talk about, and even though they don't have a ton of common ground, that's kind of the point. And it really highlights the points that they do have in common, because even though they come from different backgrounds, they have many of the same desires. Not taking that, sorry. So we have some very interesting things going on, but that is mostly what the game was outside of that little Monster Hunter moment. It was definitely a lot of character interaction and a lot of role-playing. But I don't have a problem with role-play heavy sessions. Actually, I'm not going to say I prefer them, but they are a sharp contrast to other things that happen during games. And I like them because so many people think that all D&D is dungeon crawling and combat. And it's nice to kind of pull away from that stereotype and actually have some role-playing moments, some things that feel like a genuine story is being told. But I also know that there are a lot of people out there that are like, oh my god, this is so boring. What are we even doing? I like Raging Inferno. I might just use that over Exploding Fireball and replace Exploding Fireball with something else. And good timing, too, because we're onto the wind area where that's going to make a difference. That didn't work. Well, immediately I'm going, okay, but Exploding Fireball comes out much faster than Raging Inferno. How did I know that was gonna happen? I silenced my phone, but now it's my roommate's phone that goes off and is creating background noise. I just can't catch a break. Alright, so we've got a pretty decent run going so far, we just need to not screw it up. Easier said than done, honestly. There we go. So what are we up to? Plus 20... Ooh. So that's plus 44... Yeah, 44% to signature damage, plus 40% to signature charge rate. This is going very well. Now, I'm hoping to figure out what the max is on the Ancient Fountain Pen. And yes, I could go to the Wizard of Legend wiki and just look up Ancient Fountain Pen, but I'd rather know for myself. I'd rather actually put in the effort and figure it out. What are you, some sort of tryhard? By the way, if you've ever said that to someone, know that you're a terrible person because you're now making fun of someone putting in time and effort to try to be good, and it just makes you look like a terrible person. So don't say that to people. I mean, outside of it not being a very worthwhile or meaningful insult, it just shows that you're not willing to put in any effort into anything. Alright, just because you don't want to put in the effort doesn't mean that other people won't. And for that matter, I think other people, are willing to put in effort because they do care. So calling someone a tryhard, and yes, this is a little old. I've had this levied against me before, so to me it holds just a little bit of personal weight, even if it is mostly just me being spiteful and, you know, like perfectly willing to admit that. It really is just a sign of ignorance when you call someone that. I hit the wrong button! Okay, this room is starting to make me mad. Okay, that'll help. What do we have here? Tectonic Drill is okay, but I'm kind of making a better go of it with just mid to long range attacks. So I'll just let that one slide. Now, if I were running an Awe set and looking for critical hit damage, then I'd be all over that. But you know, Iris, if you really want to help a brother out, how about selling me the upgrade to... how about selling me the upgrade to Air Spinner, That'd be nice. That would go a long way. Your signature takes longer to charge, but can now be used twice on a single charge. I am going to buy that. I don't know how much slower it goes, but honestly, it can't be that bad. Especially when I'm getting a plus 40% to my signature charge rate anyway. Alright, so it's noticeable, but it's nothing I'm going to make a big deal out of, because ultimately that's still one heck of a boon. And I am down for that. That does mean, though, that it's going to be hard to rely on that move on my signature during just combating mobs. So I'm going to have to... What do we have here? Definitely take Bouncing Surge. I guess Dragon Surge is also good, but one step at a time. I also want to see what relics are available. But now more than ever, I could really use the upgrade to Air Spinner. Hello, sir. Got anything good for me? Ooh, Aqua Beam. You know what? I'll take that and put it there. As much as I like Exploding Fireball, actually, Exploding Fireball is faster. There we go. I think that works out a lot better. Yay, my aim is great. Alright, definitely noticing the new amount of difficulty I'm having with my signature charge rate. Oh, thanks a lot, jerks. Alright, so that item might have been a mistake. I'm gonna hold on to it for a little bit longer, but honestly, I'm starting to wonder if it's such a good idea. Well, we're up to plus 38%, so... Honestly, it might be better just to only have one signature, and be able to actually charge it within a reasonable time frame. But this is kind of what learning is all about. You don't always gain what you want by theory crafting alone. Sometimes you have to just get in there and be like, let me try this. Excuse me, do not do that now. Alright, so, thanks to rogues and their stupid frame 1 critical hit, I am now kind of suffering a bit. My health is not looking very good at all. And even though I spent money on it, I am starting to think that that was a bad purchase. I should maybe rethink some decisions. There's one thing I have been kind of counting on, especially with the improved signature charge rate, is being able to essentially bail myself out of bad rooms with the wide coverage of my signature. Without being able to do that very often, it's definitely starting to hurt. We'll definitely take that. And we'll take that too, because that's working very well with what I have going on. And releasing an Earth Drill when using Basic Arcana is okay, because that will have basically no... that has basically no knockback. So I think we're set. Hey, fucking archer, go away. Go away. Alright, so be very careful when you're buying Secret Wild Card, because that could end up making a bigger difference to your game plan than you think. Especially if you're using your signature as a means of getting out of a sticky situation. Not being able to get it when you want it is actually going to cause you more problems in the long run. Alright, that was an excellent dodge there, and I'm happy I got it to work out. Alright, cool. Got out of there without taking much damage, so health is going to be looking okay again. Thunder Seekers. Kind of like what I have, to be honest. Will that work out just as well for taking care of Sura's minions? I don't know. I'd rather just stick with Bouncing Surge. Alright, this is the level that I always dread. Earth Terrace Level 3, home of the poison and the nearly invulnerable enemies. The rocks that do way too much damage. Whew. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot. There's gonna be a lot of butt clench moments here, just because of how dangerous this area is. And now we're poisoned because of having to spend all that time dodging around arrows, which means I'm going to be taking little ticks of damage for roughly a millennium. Fortunately, the cushion flip-flops, in conjunction with my improved signature charge rate, will help a lot with that, but still, oh. There. Oh my goodness. Yeah, things get frantic and furious at this stage. It just gets to be such a hassle. Okay, I like that. I'll take it. Increases its critical hit chance, works out well with the Assassin's Blade. So what is this at right now? 40. I wonder if that's the maximum. Guess I'll find out after the next time my signature charges. Iris. WTF. I asked for one thing, and you can't provide it. Or you don't want to. Well, yes, this level does make me stressed out. And yet, for some reason, I'm still having a better time here than when I tried playing this game on the Switch. I don't know why. It's not like the gameplay is any different. It's just for some reason when I play on the Switch, I just don't do very well. Well, maybe gaming on the go isn't for you. Well, I mean, I don't think that's the problem. But at the offhand, I can't think of anything else that would be a serious problem. As much as I like the idea, I'm not sure I have enough health for it. And I can't afford both that and a health potion right now, so I might have to go without unless I get a lot of money from the boss. I guess we'll see. Oh, and so long as I have it on my mind, just a little role-playing tip, if you're playing a D&D game and two characters are getting romantic, just remember it's the characters getting romantic, not necessarily the players. This can help save from a lot of misunderstanding and cringe moments in real life. So just remember that. And this isn't a problem with our group, but I know it can be a problem in a lot of other people's groups. Some people really take some of that too far. And it really is just, some people just get really cringy with that shit. Alright, so 40% is the max. So let's see what he increases it to. 33, so we're getting plus 50% signature charge rate, plus 70% signature damage. That is big. Let's go ahead and buy this. Alright. So now about the only thing I'm interested in from Iris, pardon me, would be either an upgrade to Air Spinner or upgrade to Bouncing Surge. Mostly because the upgrade to Bouncing Surge will make dealing with Sura so much easier. By the way, can I just say I appreciate the cushioned flip-flops so much right now? Because those things are increasing my survivability so much, especially after I got rid of the secret wild card. Wind, 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 water. Well, unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna be able to open that. God, I hate robes so much. I hate you guys with a passion. Okay, sorry about that. And for what it's worth, I know it's not just stupid people that do things like that, think that if their character falls in love with another person's character, then they have to be shared and stuff. No, that's not everyone. That's a bad stigma to take to the table. No, not everyone is like that. But and there are some, and we are nerds. We do tend to get really into things that we do. And so, Iris, what the hell, woman? Okay, that is just sad. This entire run, no upgrade to Air Spinner, nothing even remotely like that. That's just pathetic. Why would you not sell me an upgrade to that spell? Okay, Hunter Stiletto. So we've got 3 things here that are good. I might only be able to take 2 of them, though. So let's see what happens by the end. But as I was saying, no, this is not like a spread out pandemic problem. This is just some people get way too into things, take it a little bit too seriously, and that's it. And don't get me wrong, I take my role-playing very seriously. It's one of the things that I enjoy most in this world. Hanging out, the other things being gaming and, just being an entertainer in general. Which, yes, I know I'm not doing a great job of that right now. I apologize. Alright, so actually, if I take Armor of Greed, I no longer need to pick up the what is it? Heavy Travel Jacket? So, I can focus on the other 2 things, which would be an overall damage boost and Hunter Stiletto, because I've got 2 things that are laying status effects. And then if I get enough money, I'll come back for Family Seal, which will further improve my ability to drop signatures. I would have liked to have gotten Family Seal earlier in the run, but better late than never, right? Alright, so probably not going to be able to pick it up, honestly. That makes me a little sad, but it's okay. We've still got a pretty solid run, even if Iris doesn't want to sell us things that would help out in the long run. But we did just pick up Permafrost Cube, which will actually help out quite a bit in the way that it's going to essentially allow us to lay random status effects just whenever. So that helps. Can't afford another health potion, though. So we're going to have to play this real careful, so let's not get reckless against Atlas. Let's take it cool. Let's roll with the punches. Let's put a little glide in our stride. And let's take this fight seriously. And then get mad at the trees because they're blocking our shots. No sir, what? How did that hit me? So the burst from that stone wall disappearing also does damage. I guess I should have realized that, but... There we go. Okay, Atlas down, we can now move on to Sura. Nah, I don't want that. Alright, so now let's switch up Exploding Fireball for Bouncing Surge. Yes, I know, buddy. I know. Oh, I see. Riku went back into her cage and you're complaining because I haven't let you out yet. Yeah, I didn't know she went back into her cage. I thought she was out playing like a good bird. I'm sorry, Cecil. Well, I'm glad you understand. Alright, Aqua Beam is also good for getting rid of Sura's minions, but more often than not I don't include that in the list of things that you should always take into the Sura fight, mostly because I'm more focused on using it just to deal damage to the main man himself. But, does it work? Absolutely it does. Alright, on to the final phase. Alright, as soon as he calms down, I can unleash this signature on him. There we go. Just keeping a good sense of control is key to winning this fight. You don't want to go absolutely nuts, and also having a few good defensive relics helps a lot. And that's victory, so there you go. A nice signature-focused run. It's a shame I couldn't pick up Family Seal, but at the same time, I do feel I was well prepared for this. And again, it points out, why do I do so poorly on the Switch when I do just fine here? Man, I kind of wish there was more Chaos Arcana to pick up. Maybe if I ever learn how to properly code, I can create some more Chaos Arcana to put at the end. And even a few things based on some of the dark spells from Secret of Mana. That could be fun. There were only 3 of them, but hey, who cares? That reminds me, I need to get back to Collection of Mana. And anyone else hyped for Trials of Mana coming out? That remake looks fucking bomb! But that's enough out of me. I think you've had enough of me rambling, so there's your winning run. I hope you had fun with this video. I certainly had fun making it, and it taught me a few things. I'm a little disappointed that plus 70% to critical damage didn't amount to much more than each tick doing 27, but it's still a good signature for helping to clear mobs. Against actual bosses and enemies, though, you might want to go for a signature that just does more raw damage, like Exploding Fireball. I imagine plus 70% damage to that would have been way bigger. Technically plus 75% damage because of the Chaos Scanner. Oh, wait, and then plus... You get the idea. So, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff. And I will hopefully be back soon with some more content. as soon as I can understand why my depression is kicking my ass. So, until next time, my name is Dark Sage Walker, and I will be seeing you.